It wasn't enthusiastic enough.
Yes! What's going on, YouTube? I peeked it? I peeked it. All right. What's going on, YouTube?
No, don't do that, because I want us to do an ASMR video later. I thought about that.
Oh.
We should do it for Mystery Whiskey. It'd be hilarious. No, we're not doing it right now.
What's going on, YouTube? I'm Scotch.
And I'm Sniff.
And we're Scotch and Sniff.
And today we're going to talk about something I know. So, yes, 99% of our videos are about whiskey, and I know that they tell you, like,
I would hope so.
If you're going to run a YouTube channel, don't forget to make those videos for yourself every once in a while. And, like, this is definitely a video that is more for something that me and my brother talk about all the time that I just call hidden complexities. And I know he was like, that's so vague, and, like, what do you want to talk about? But I want you guys to realize that there's more than, well, we all know that there's more than just whiskey in the world, but the way that you approach things in life are the same as how you approach whiskey. Like the depth and breadth to which you give to whiskey says a lot about the depth and breadth you probably give to other things in your life. So if you're a person who really digs into like the content of what we put out here, because we're trying to give you guys a lot of information without trying to overwhelm you, but sometimes I know some of you guys are definitely probably in our boat where it's like, tell me that other information. Tell me the difference between a 3-chamber, still versus a pot still versus a coffee still versus an alembic still. Like, let me know more. Like, we want to give you guys more, and we definitely will in the future. I just wanted to take a second to like appreciate it and all the other things we do in our lives, because we're into more than just whiskey, obviously, and you can't help that. Like, we're into cameras, we're into cars, we're into watches, we're into like lots of stuff. Coffee, good Lord, coffee.
I think one of the main things that he's also getting to the point on is that if you nerd out about one thing and the fact that you are watching these videos, you could go and watch another, YouTuber who has hundreds of thousands of views, but the content is kind of just like, it's shallow.
It's all in what you want. Like, we're not, unfortunately, we can't be shallow. That's not who we are as people.
Right. So like when we're tasting a whiskey, or when we're, like he said, like, looking at a watch or deconstructing a shoe, something as simple as that, we want to know more about it. How can we rebuild this thing? I think we were Lego kids, so I think if that tells you anything about us, we like to deconstruct things as well as bring things up. We used to take apart.
Duplo kids?
Oh, that's special. They're extra rounded,
Duplo
so they don't
kids.
hurt themselves.
What did Duplo kids grow up to do? Anyways, sorry. Sorry, we were Lego kids.
Why did Ryan Reynolds pop into my mind?
He's not Mexican.
He could be a Duplo kid, though.
Oh my.
Yeah. Mint Mobile commercials. This just cracks me up.
Maybe. But that's like just how we approach all things in life. I think it's just important to see, because we talk about coffee so much, it's not even funny. And
the similarities with whiskey are out of this world.
Because I was having a conversation with somebody recently, and like they didn't understand that you can extract more flavors from coffee. Just like you can extract more flavors from whiskey by learning how to do it better.
Right.
Coffee is the exact same way. You can learn to brew better. And so like,
well, not only that, but you can learn to taste better as well.
Of course. That on top of it. Yeah. So just doing the non-subjective side, I was trying to explain to this person, I was like, listen, like when it comes to coffee, like the brew temperature matters, the size of your grinds matters, like the method you're using for actually extracting the coffee from the beans, that matters. Like the type, like
filters matter.
There's so much. The filter type matters. The type of beans you use matters. How long they roasted.
Pre-wetting a filter
beans,
versus not wetting a filter.
White filters versus brown filters. Like there are so many things in coffee just to get the flavor out. People don't understand. Like I was trying to explain to her, I was like, yeah, I like to brew my coffee between 200 and 205 if I'm doing espresso at home, but if I'm doing like an AeroPress or Chemex at work, I mean, Chemex, I'll go as low as 180, and I've done it before to extract maximum flavor. But I find that an AeroPress is much more oily and it gives better flavor anyways, versus like if I'm doing a Chemex, which I'll pretty much do like right around 200, a touch under sometimes, like that works for me. But everybody's palate is going to taste things differently, and learning that as best you can is super important. Like,
and it's all about experimentation as well.
Absolutely.
Because how else are you going to do that? Change those variables. I got an Encore grinder, a bean grinder, and it's got 0 to, I don't know, almost 60 settings on there.
Jeez.
So I know the grind that I want for a specific type of brew method. Yep. So, but what if I change it a little bit? What if I make it a little bit more coarse or a little bit more fine? I want to taste those variables. Having a constant bean that I taste every day, then just changing those that single variable will help me determine.
And that helps, like digging into the things that you like so much in life also will help you to become a more educated customer.
Not only that.
I'm thinking of it with watches, because you just bought that quartz watch, but he just bought a battery watch. So I know it's fine if you have a battery watch. There's nothing wrong with that. Batteries tell time better than
the technology
quartz
of vibrating a quartz crystal to get a solid beat and then to extract that and to put it into a wine. Like, get out of here.
It's
Get out of
absolutely,
here.
it's absolutely incredible. But you tell that to somebody who has a Rolex that has a battery, and they're gonna be like, well, my second hand is mechanical and it clicks like this.
So there's a Rolex, the Oyster Quartz, that use the Beta 21 movement.
But what I'm saying is, so there are bunches of different movements out there, and a lot of people who don't know will focus on things like, oh, the second hand sweeps, so it must be an expensive watch.
Right.
But what they may not realize is like it could be Swatch, it could be Swiss ETA
Right.
movement, and which is owned by Swatch
I mean,
now.
it could be even lesser quality than that. Like some Chinese
Don't say
movements.
Miyota. Oh, the Chinese. I was gonna say Miyota's fine.
It's nice.
But
They
like,
have some nicer.
No, some of the Chinese movements, like I had a buddy who bought a fossil watch that had a Chinese movement. It was off by like half an hour a day. Yeah, I know.
You might as well
We're
look at the
like
sun.
we're like plus or minus 3-5 seconds. It's like a half an hour. I
A
was like,
sundial on your wrist. It's
literally does
about
no good.
12.
But to a person who doesn't dig into it, they're gonna buy a watch with a sweeping hand thinking, "Oh, I bought quality." It's more than just knowing things. You have to really understand things.
Right.
Like Google will give you an answer, but understanding why is the more important part. And I feel like a lot of people who watch us and us ourselves, because we are that same way, because we need to know why, it's gonna just draw a different kind of person. And so, yeah, no, we've talked about recently about how just the number of subscribers we have is very different than a bunch of other knowledgeable whiskey people out there. And then you guys comment all the time, like, why don't you guys have more followers? Why don't you guys have more followers? And we wonder the same things too, you know? So I'm sitting there and I'm digging through analytics and we're doing all kinds of stuff.
Content's good.
So
Personality's
I dig through the
good.
analytics and I'm trying to learn these things. And a lot of times I think it's just we are going to draw the people who are more like us. And those people aren't going to fall for, oh, I need a shallow video doing blah, blah, blah. Or I'm not going to sit and watch some guy get drunk for 45 minutes.
Right.
It's going to draw more people who want to know more and want to dig more. So I think we're going to probably end up doing that more with videos in the future where we just dig a little bit extra because I think we're drawing people who are digging a little bit extra also. So
Totally
yeah,
concur.
that's it. That's all I wanted to do with this video because like we just have so many other hobbies that we dig into. And I realized that at work, because I'm like a heavy introvert and a coworker asked me like, what are you doing this weekend? And I said nothing. But then I realized I was doing stuff, but it's stuff that I don't say out loud to people because I don't think anyone will care. Like if I talk about the physical game mechanics, like the game mechanics of physics inside of a video game, most people don't sit there and analyze it. But I play a lot of video games that are like sandboxes because I enjoy things like deconstructing things that make sense and don't make sense to me.
So-
Could I just play Call of Duty and kill people? Sure. But like to me, that's not as much fun as understanding weird things.
So as his brother, and I've known him for a pretty long time, I can say that it's not just because he doesn't think that that other person will care, but it's probably because in his past he has told somebody,
And
and
they
that
didn't
somebody
care.
has looked at him like this, and then just maybe not reacted, and you get tired of that after a while, and it's just like,
True.
well, I'll just not say anything.
It's easier to say I'm not doing anything this weekend or just Netflix
than
and
to
chill.
blow somebody's mind.
Right, than to be like, I know to turn my sails into the wind because
Yeah.
it creates a game mechanic that actually
Because
is
some
broken.
people will see that as pretentiousness, and they'll be like, well, I don't want to go drinking with him or go tasting with him because he just sits there and analyzes his whiskey, and that's not fun for me. That's cool. But there are people out there, and you'll find those communities. You found this community with us who enjoy analyzing those things and enjoy nerding out.
Yeah, it's again for us.
Shout out to Alton Brown. Like, that would be really cool if he hit us up, because he is that, or at least used to
For
be.
food, absolutely, yeah.
Because it wasn't just about like, hey, you know, I put a steak on the grill and it turns brown.
He got me to try sous vide, and I don't know anything about food at all.
Cool.
Like I hate cooking, and like he got me to try sous vide.
Versus like talking about the Maillard reaction and what is actually turning brown, the proteins in there. So it's
Yeah, it depends on how deep you want to dig, right? Same thing for us for whiskey. So it's
Shout
one
out Bill
thing.
Nye.
It's one thing to know what you like in whiskey. It's another thing to know why you like it.
Boom.
And so that's for us goals. Like we want you to have the same available options and opportunities to do the same thing.
because knowing what you like in one whiskey will help you find the other whiskey who carries those similar traits or who has that similar
Exactly.
technique, versus just blindly. We don't just go out there and like, oh, there's not always.
No,
'cause
sometimes.
we do.
No, sometimes for
oh,
sure.
there's a new bottle. I'll just pick that up. If we see something, you know, bottles and boxes and tins have captions on there so that hopefully, you know, you're an insightful buyer who will be like,
Right.
I like sherry wood. That has sherry. You know, it's from a sherry cask. It might taste like my normal one. I'll pick that up
Right.
as well.
You're looking for these connections that draw you to what you like. And that's exactly what's up with this video. So, yeah. So I'm not even going to say, don't say CSL or CLS because like we don't even need it for this video because I literally just wanted to make this video to let you know if you're a giant nerd and you like nerding out about whiskey and you're wondering why we're not going a little bit deeper sometimes, that's why. Like I on one hand,
I want to say,
we want to be friendly to beginners because it's important to understand, like, caramel, vanilla brown has a place, but at the same time, like, there are also complex, even bourbons, and, understanding their process and how it changed it for getting into that, that's important to us too.
well, this is a good one. Comment down below if you do like nerding out. Because if you do, we'll do more videos like that. And if you don't,
This wasn't supposed to be a call to get people to be like, hey, let's get nerdy together.
I think every video should be a call though, especially when it comes down to like if more people who watch us want more nerdy, we'll nerd out.
I mean, how nerdy do we want to get?
Oh, we can get real nerdy. Let's get nerdy with it.
I mean, in my mind, I think, like, as soon as you said that, like, I was like, we
back.
should just go to Wilderness Trail and we should sit down with Dr. Pat and have people understand, like, this is how it goes, this is how enzymes work. And, like, that dude has broken down, like, he's a biochemist, a doctor, an actual doctor. And so, like, he's making whiskey, but he's doing an incredible job of it because their level of analysis is on another level. So, I mean, that just made me like Wilderness Trail even more because they're producing incredible whiskey at 2-3 years. Instead of using science to create whiskey, they shove through wood, add UV rays to, and play some sound to, so they can get it to interact with the wood and call it super good whiskey that tastes as good as a 30-year, even though it tastes like absolute garbage. There's 2 brands I'm looking at right now, I'm so sorry. But like, instead of that, this guy broke down, so we're not trying to take the time element out of what's going on with whiskey, we're trying to create a good whiskey by analyzing the components that go into it and then making better components. And that's exactly what he's done. And to me, that's super impressive because their 2-3 years are blowing our minds. Now, I can't wait to see what it tastes like in 6 years. It's gonna be wild. So, yeah, that's it. Sorry, I got a little...
Nah, it was a good rant.
Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, just comment down below if you're also a big nerd, and we'll talk about it. Not like, oh, you reminded me of 5th grade. One of my glasses broke and I had to tape them.
I mean, I think that's happened to everybody. I stepped on my glasses and I had to just, like, slowly hope that it didn't crack.
Oh, you're breaking the metal.
Hey, we'll work
We can
that.
talk about metallurgy one day. That'd be fun.
Hey,
Nobody would like talking about metallurgy.
Hey, you never know.
Like copper taking sulfurs out with the reason why stills are made out of copper is to absorb sulfur. Oh, actually, this would be the perfect video for it. So this video is gonna be for like the heavy nerds, because you'd be the perfect people for event number 1.
Oh.
I'm not actually going to get into any details about the event yet, but basically, since you got to the end of this video,
Which bravo.
yes, definitely. Comment down below and just with your Instagram handle. If you don't have an Instagram, sign up, get one, it's free. Comment down below with your Instagram handle. The first 10, we're going to do an event. I'm not gonna, there's like legality reasons, there's all kinds of small details about why we can't say.
We're just gonna do the first 10.
Yeah, we're just gonna, the first 10, and then we'll also pull 10 people from Instagram.
Now it sounds shady.
But no, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time.
It's gonna be legal.
But basically, it's
gonna get hurt.
Back off, man. It's gonna be all right. Anyways, so yeah, we're gonna grab 10 people from YouTube and Instagram, and we'll put them together, and we're gonna do an event. It will definitely be online. Don't want to spoil any more details. It's gonna be good. So it'll be free, which is what everybody likes anyways. So we'll leave it at that, and that's the end of the video.
$3.99.
It's your favorite price? What's with your eyes?